Hey everybody, what's going on? Buddy Blackford here with another awesome Photoshop CS6 tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to go over cropping stuff. And there is a basic way to crop and then there's a tool for cropping. So let's start getting into this. The first way that you can crop is by creating a selection. So pick any of your selection tools. I'm just going to use the rectangular marquee tool because it's the easiest. And you can do this with any of your other selection tools. Just make a selection. I'm just going to select this lifeguard house here, and I'm going to go to image, and there is a section here called crop. Click that, and then your image is quickly cropped. You don't have to mess with a bunch of stuff. So that's how you quickly and basically crop things. Now you can go in with your other selection tools and make some like nice looking crops like this one. Oh man, this is gonna be awesome. And then image crop, and then it's basically just gonna crop a square out for you along the farthest edges out of your selection. So I just want to make that clear to you that you just can't like crop like crazy looking things. It's squares or rectangles basically. So just letting you know that. So let's go to layer, let's go to select, deselect, so we don't have anything there anymore. And we're going to come down here to the crop tool. Click on it, and we get a bunch, and you can see that in the corners we have our crop selection area. So if we drag this, and then we can drag this down some more, we have our area here that we are going to crop. And it's within this grid-like area. This is what's going to stay in the crop. So if I hit enter, it's going to crop that area, and that's pretty easy. Oops, I just went back. I'm gonna deselect because somehow I went way too far back, but I'm on my crop tool again, and the crop tool has a bunch of different options that we can use to pretty much refine what we're doing. So right now our cropping area is set to unconstrained, as we can see up here in the top. So it's unconstrained right now. Now if I open up this menu, we have a bunch of different settings. We got presets, and then we can create a preset. So if we go to original ratio, and then we type in whatever we want, 15 by 15, so we get a ratio of a crop that we can basically move the picture around into and crop out what we needed to. And remember, press enter to initiate the crop. Well, this is on 1:1 square. So if I put it on 1:1 square and I change this to like 3 and 6 or whatever, then you get that. So custom here at the top, this will come up when you just start typing your own numbers. You can make any kind of custom size you want. So let's go back to unconstrained real quick. Now new in CS6 we can rotate our crops in our crop area. So up here there is this rotate button. Click on it, and now we're able to rotate our cropped selection. It basically rotates the picture, not like really the crop, but we can still get a rotated crop. So if I hit enter now, this is what it's going to look like. And make sure that when you rotate and you crop that you don't have a bunch of nothingness in your crop. I mean, that wouldn't look too hot, unless that's your plan and you wanted to put something there, like maybe like the guy from Mortal Kombat saying toasty or something like that. So let's get back to this. Now we've got a couple other buttons up here. The straighten button, you can click on that and then draw a line to see how you want this straightened. So I drew the line, and then it's like this. So if I click on it again and draw the line, if you hold shift, it doesn't do anything this time. So you want to go by the angle that you have on the screen. So this just straightened it out a little more. So let's Control Z to go back, edit, undo, undo. It's just going to go back and forth. So because sometimes it does that. So let's get out of this crop. Can't crop the image. So what I did is I clicked on like the move tool. I'm going to hit don't crop, and it's going to bring it back to what it was normally. Now we have a bunch of different views for our crop. So when I start cropping, I'm on the crop tool right now, we got this grid here with 3 in it. And this grid here is basically called the rule of thirds grid. And when you're taking photography classes or design classes or anything like that, there is a rule of thirds, and basically you want to look that up. Actually, I'll type it up right now so you can see that I'm not making this up. Rule of thirds, and then photography. Just typing this in real quick, and I'll bring this over. Now we've got the rule of thirds, and this is a principle in photography that shows you how to like organize how to organize your pictures and make them composed really nicely. So that's what that is. Now we've got the rule of thirds view on here. Let's go up to our view section up here. Now we've got a bunch of different types of views. Grid, diagonal, so if you want to line stuff up. So there's a bunch of different views here. Some of them I don't understand. This one's called golden spiral. Why would you use that? I'm not too sure yet, but I'll figure it out someday. So we've got auto show overlay. These ones can be clicked on separately. Always show the overlay is going to show like our different grid and everything like that. And then we got never to never show the grid. It's going to remember these for you. And then we've got to cycle our overlays. We press O. So that's kind of nice. Now for our different overlays here and our different views, we've got an options menu. If we click on the options menu, we get a couple more options that help out and make things easier for us. So let's go over those. Use classic mode. So in classic mode, you select that and you move and rotate the crop selection instead of the actual image. So if I used classic mode, and I can move this around like this, and it doesn't move like the image. So I'm just moving around the crop instead of the image. So if I go back to not classic mode, and I'm moving this around, I'm actually moving the image around this time instead of moving around the crop. So that's up to you. Not too much of a difference really, unless like, I don't know. Actually, I guess there isn't really too much of a difference. It's up to your preference. We've got the always center preview, so I would keep that checked. If I was you, it's up to you. If you have a huge image that you might not want to have auto center preview, and show cropped area, you can see what you're working with if you have the show cropped area on. If not, so if I move it around like this, I mean, you can't really see it. So this will give you a good idea of what your image is going to look like if you have it off. But I like to have it on to see, so I can see everything else and see what I might want to get in there. The next set of settings here is enable crop shield, and if I just uncheck that, you'll see that this darker area around here turns off and you just see the crop there. Now, I mean, I feel like enable crop shield helps you see what you're actually going to crop, so I would suggest to keep that on. And then you have your color where you can change your color to a custom one if you want. So it could be red, or it's up to you. So right now I'm going to put it to match canvas, which it kind of like does, just makes like a gray that's a little more opaque, and then, or transparent, I guess. And then you can increase your opacity if you want. That's up to you. So auto adjust, you can have auto adjust on there also, so it basically you don't have to do too much work. So those are the settings. Now it looks like, I feel like the crop tool has a bunch of stuff to it. We've got delete cropped pixels also over here, and you pretty much want to do that so you don't have any like half pixels or anything like that on there. So keep delete cropped pixels on. Now we just got our buttons over here that we can use for cropping. So this one's going to reset your crop. So if I click on that, it resets it back to the beginning. Now over here I've got the next button over here, 10. So this is the cancel button. So if I click on cancel, it gets off of everything that I did. And then if I go and click on the check mark here, it's just like pressing enter, it'll commit to the crop. So that's how you use the crop tool. A decent amount of stuff to it because of these view options and everything like that. But the crop tool is used to cut out any extra information in your photo that you don't think is necessary or you don't want to have in there. So it helps focus on like the main aspect of the photo. Brings more attention to whatever you want to crop into and everything like that. So that's how you use the crop tool. Thanks for watching it. Subscribe for more tutorials. It's going to be awesome. Have a good one, everybody.